what's up? I'm here for another coffee chat. It's kind of interesting because this is not a controversial topic or anything. If you didn't see it, this is just kind of a rollover from my shave this morning where I had a topic I was going to talk about there and got halfway through the shave and hadn't even gotten to the topic yet. And I thought, well, it's been a while since I did a coffee chat. And boy, I just got dark shade in my eyes. That's all right. Beautiful. Look at that sky back there, huh? That's looking nice in the picture and everything. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. I said I'll just roll it over, make some. It's nice and warm out, so look what I got. Let's get in the sun. See that? Iced coffee. So I'm just playing around now. I'm a professional shaver. I'm not a professional coffee maker yet. That's good. I just used a little less water, so I made it a little stronger than normal and poured it over ice. And I think I've used this once before. Sumatra Mandiling is the coffee of choice today. This is used to be my go-to that I'd always, regardless of what other beans I got to try, I always got this. It's kind of a standard, but I think it's going to be replaced by another one pretty soon. More to come. So the topic I was going to bring up was missed purchases that you really regret. And since you're not able to interact with me, I have no idea. So it'll be more me. So I'll get to why this came up. Well, I guess I'll start with that. Is that every now and again there are things that you pass on buying, and then forever and ever, or at least a long time, you're like, really missed that. And sometimes that's when you know that it's something that you really want or it's worth spending money on, right? If you're like, hey, I'm gonna put off buying that, and if in 2-3 months I still really want it, then I'll go get it. And if I stop thinking about it, then I just save me money by not buying it. And so it's weird because there's some things from my early adulthood that I can remember that, I guess it's fine. It didn't affect my life in a big way. I'm not talking about, well, geez, if I bought Apple stock or something, but like a physical thing you just really wish that you had or something. And the reason this came up is very recently I was able to fix the missed purchases on a couple of things, which I'll tell you about. But the one that I always think about is some Van Halen thing. And it's funny because if you watched my shave this morning, I said I had to go charge my car today. So I did. I went and parked and charged my car in the parking lot where I was. This old van came up, all painted like Eddie Van Halen's guitar, right? The red with the white stripes kind of all over the place. And it was just class. I mean, it's like a beat up old van. But the whole thing was painted like that, and the guy parks and he does that whole thing with the window where he has to pull it up and push it up. It was hilarious. But I thought that's interesting since I actually going to talk about a Van Halen item. But and I forgot, I was going to look these guys up. I'm sure they're retired by now. But we used to listen to Mark and Brian in the morning. I think they were out of LA. This was when I lived up in Portland, but they ended up putting out a CD. I can't remember what it is anymore, but it was like a big deal. You went to like the CD release party, and it must have been their comedy bits or something like that, and you got to meet them and get the signatures on it, and they had an auction there, and one of the auctions was a Van Halen item. And I think that I'm right in remembering that it had something to do with like a gold record or gold CD or something. It had to have been a replica or whatever, with their signatures, the band member signatures all over it. And I wasn't planning, I don't know if I didn't even realize that there was an auction, but I wasn't planning on bidding on anything. And this is one of the bigger items there. And I can't remember what, I think it was at least under $1,000. But anyway, where I had set my cutoff point because I wasn't planning on buying anything, it didn't go much over that. And as soon as it was over, I was thinking, dang, that was cheap. And it's like, I don't need the Van Halen thing. But that's one of the things that I remember early on from a long time ago that I should have, it probably was a decent amount of money back then. But I don't know. How much will we pay for that now? All the Van Halen band member signature with it all framed up. And the other one I thought of this morning, I was trying to, because there's these two things that are more recent that I'll tell you about. There's that one. And then for the most part, I can't really think of a lot of things. There are probably some wines and scotches that I've thought, well, that would have been cool to get as limited edition or whatever, and I didn't buy it, and it would have been nice to have it. But it's not like I'm like feeling left out. But when I was looking for kind of my first real car, I had this tiny little car in college. I wouldn't say that that's my first real car. It was kind of like what was that? A Pontiac Fiero. It was like this far off the ground. Boy, that thing, you could corner that thing like it was on rails. I mean, it's a piece of junk, I'm sure, but boy, that was fun to drive. Like driving a little, what do you call them? Not a go-karts, because it was so low, but it also weighed nothing. So if it was wet out, boy, you could spin out super easy. Anyway, when I was looking for cars, it was like, I think it was the first day we went looking for cars, and I drove a Mazda MX-6. And I don't even know how I happened upon this. I think I knew nothing about it. But that thing was so fun. It felt like that Fiero, that it cornered so well, but a lot of power. So it was, obviously the V6. And I think it was manual. And I loved that thing. I mean, it was a ton of fun to drive. But it was the very first day that I was looking, and I'm like, well, I just started looking, and I remember thinking it's a really good deal too. And of course, I'm telling you this story because after shopping for a few more days, I'm like, I'm gonna go back and get that, and it was gone. And that came up when I was trying to think of other things that I kind of regret not getting in the past. That one came up, that I always remember but I don't know. That was probably a better decision not to do that, because I hadn't done a lot of research and all that stuff, and that's a big purchase. What else? See, this is why this would have been a better topic for a shape. Because I'm not going to talk for half an hour about this. I can't think of a lot of actual stuff that. Oh, I remember when it's shaving related. This one is a bit more recent, probably 5-6 years ago now, when I was new into the wet shaving community, and khaki sets at the time were kind of the rage in the forums I was on. And that's the military set. You open it up and it has like the razor in pieces, and blades in there, and then it's got a little mirror that you can pull out from the lid of it. And there's this khaki set on eBay that looked really nice. And one of the problems with these old razors is that a lot of times they get kind of cracks where you would screw the head of the razor into the handle of it. You get stress cracks there where you screw it in. This one looked beautiful. The case was kind of beat up and dirty, but the cool part is that on the back of it has somebody's name and I think a military number or something. And so I bid on it, and it went up. And again, I didn't have a lot of knowledge and experience at that time, and that went higher than I was willing to go at the time. And I didn't get it. And to this day, I think I should have gone higher, because especially if I could have found out who that person was, that kind of having somewhat of a history to what you're using, at least knowing where they were, maybe where they were stationed or something like that. I don't know how much you can find out about somebody in the military, but that would have been cool. And same thing, I don't think it went for a lot higher than what I was bidding. And I've never seen anything like that before. I see some khaki sets. They used to be up all the time. But this one was really cool, especially with the name. I'm bummed that that one got past me. And there's a Razor Tomac. So again, if you're watching my channel, even this one, it's not a shaving video. I'm assuming you've kind of found me through the whole shaving thing. But the Psycho razors where they've got a key that you need to unlock the head to get the razor out, so that you can, in psych facilities and hospitals and stuff, you can give the razor to somebody. Prisons, you can give the razor to somebody and they can't get to the blade. You have to have the key that the guard or whoever would have, right? So I've got a Psycho razor with the key. But there's another version of that I didn't even know existed, called the Tomac razor. Same thing, razor with a key. Happened across it on eBay somehow. Didn't know, you know, how hard or easy they were to get. Bid a decent amount of money, because I thought, you know, again, a kind of a hospital-y type of razor, and hadn't heard of it before, so that'd be cool to have. Didn't get it, haven't seen one since. You can get blades. I've got blades that say Tomac on them. Terrible blades. Haven't seen that razor again though, but I'd love to have that. So I'm bummed that if I would have kind of known how hard they were to get, then. So that one, there's still hope for that one. I don't think I'll come across a khaki set, anything like that one I missed though. That one's a bummer. If you have a Tomac razor you want to sell, let me know. Hit me up. So the two things more recently, both Disney cruise related. So one of them should be coming Monday. And the cool thing is both of these things I found in the same week again. So the first one was a tie from the Disney Cruise Line. Again, I've talked about it a lot, so I'll tell you very shortly that I love the Disney Cruise Line. I love their logo. So I kind of collect Disney Cruise Line stuff, but kind of like not the normal stuff, not like the ships that you can buy in the stores and things like that. I've got a Disney Cruise Line phone book that's like this thick that actually has phone numbers for everybody all across the Disney organization, but it's old enough, I'm sure they don't work, but like you want to contact the person in HR from the Magic Kingdom, it's in there, all that kind of stuff. Things from when they dry dock the ships, hats and shirts and safety vests and things from dry dock. So I like more like the not normal stuff or staff crew only type of things. So somehow years ago I ran across a tie, a Disney Cruise Line tie, and it's what some of the staff on the ship wear, and it's like blue with light blue versions of their logo all over it. And I think it wasn't that expensive, but I didn't get it because I think I'd bought one or two other things that week, and I'm like, all right, I'll get it next time it comes around or something. And then, like I said, that was years ago, haven't seen it, and just last week one came up, poop, got it, coming Monday, so I'm happy about that. But that's one that I've been bummed ever since. And when we go on cruises, I would like to have that to wear to formal night or some semi-formal night or whatever, something like that. That's cool. But I'm trying to decide, do I reveal this last one? I've got it here, it's right here. Do I reveal it and then tell you the story? I think I'll do that, because once I tell you the story, you're gonna know what it is. So here we go. I'm gonna have to stand up for this. Let's do it. Let me get ready. You watching? Here it comes. Ready? Here we go. Ah! What the world? What in the? Look at that. What in the heck? All right, so again, a couple years ago, at least a year ago, not that long, we were in this house, and I don't remember, some time ago, one of these Disney Cruise Line flags shows up on eBay for not an insignificant amount of money, but it had been flown on the ship. And it's, shoot, I think it's as big as this one's, like 4 feet by 6 feet or something like that. And I'm like, that is so cool. I mean, who has a flag that was flown on the freaking ship? Well, I don't know, I'm sure a few people do, but that's not something you can get in the stores or order online or anything like that. I mean, how cool is that? But of course, it's like, what in the world? And that one cost more than this one did, to the point where it's like, okay, there's no way I can do. And I even told my wife about it, and like, how cool is that? She goes, what are you gonna? So I didn't get it, obviously. And then the same week that I saw that tie, up pops this flag at a much lower price, but still, you know, not insignificant enough that, you know, it's not a nothing purchase. And I'd have to tell my wife about it, and you know, and I was worried that it was less money, so I'm like, is this a reproduction or whatever? But this one was listed as, so if you don't know, like many cruise lines now, Disney owns their own private island. It's Castaway Cay, and it said it was flown on their private island. You know, they've got big huge flagpoles there, and they got their own Disney, this guy flying there. And so I wanted to make sure, and I emailed and said, you know, hey, is that the design just a sticker kind of ironed on or sewn on? Or no, they go, no, it's sewn on. It's a real flag. It was flown there. As soon as that got that email hit by, here it shows up, and it's ridiculous, because I was going to my whole plan was just to hang it behind me in the bathroom while I did my shaves. I'm like, what, that'd be a pretty cool background. And of course it comes, and I open this thing up, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot bigger in person. My wife is just looking at me. To say she's less interested in it than me, and by less I mean not interested at all, was probably the truth, and just shaking her head and legitimately asking, what the heck are you gonna do with that thing? I don't know. I really don't. There's on one end of it, it's got these metal cleat things that you would put, you know, to run it up the flagpole, and the other side has nothing. The other corners are just can I find it? The other corners are just corners. I'm not going to put nails, or I don't want to put anything through that to hold it. In fact, I wonder if it was fixed even. Look how real this is. It looks like I just noticed that. I think they did a repair right there close to the end, maybe. Because there's a little rip right there. I love this thing. And so I was trying to figure out how even I could hang it on the wall down there, just so that I could hook it up while I did my shaves and then take it down. But it's big enough and heavy enough. I went to go use it for my video today. I couldn't figure it out. So that's why I'm like, I was just going to hold it up for the video and show everybody. So I'm like, I think I'm going to get a couple carabiners, and I won't leave it up overnight, but just because it gives me joy, I'm gonna hang it from this railing. I held it there the day that I got it. I held it and let it flap in the breeze, and so cool. So there it is. I'm happy. I got my Disney Cruise Line staff tie coming. I got my big old flag. Now I just need my Tomac razor, and we'll be all set. There you go. Like that people always say, leave in the comments. I'm curious. If you're part of the cadre, you can leave it in the forums. Leave it in the comments in YouTube. What have you passed up that you're bummed out about? You think about all the time. Curious to hear about it. See you on the floor.